Ronald, first of all, grappling in the box. What did you make of the way the rules interpreted last week, and what are you having to tell your players about it?
No grappling. No, but that's very difficult, because if you watch the Stoke Man City game, if the referee whistled 2 penalties in that 2 situations, we will get every match 8-9 penalties, and that's crazy. But it's difficult, because that rule is very difficult to interpret when it's yes penalty or when it's no penalty. But there's always contact. But really grabbing shirt a long time, it's normal to give a penalty. But no, that in my opinion there are no penalties.
Is there anything you're having to do differently on the training ground with the players?
You have to speak to the players that at least they need to do good defending, but don't grab the shirt of your opponent, and keep away from that. Don't give the referee the opportunity to give a penalty.
Obviously, we have to ask you about transfers. First of all, how excited should the fans be at the prospect of adding further to the squad in the next 6 days or so?
Like everybody's trying to improve and to make the squad stronger than you have it at the moment, and we also. But I'm not that manager who speaks a lot about rumors, about players, about possibilities. Everybody will see on the end of the transfer window what's finally the squad of Everton is.
We know, though, that Joe Hart wants to leave for first-team football. We also know that he will be allowed to leave by Pep Guardiola as well. What interest is there, if any, in bringing him here?
There's no interest.
You can say that categorically. So where are you looking to strengthen still?
But no, I don't talk about which positions, which players, because then you start the pre-season talking about transfers, and you finish that, I think it's next Thursday. But we play Stoke at home this Saturday, and it's more important than all the rumors, transfers. I know it's a good job for you. You can spend 24 hours talking about transfers, but I need to prepare the team for this Saturday. And that's, in my opinion, more important than all the rumours.
Perhaps a couple of surprising ones of possible outgoings, or certainly rumours of outgoings, in James McCarthy being linked with Celtic and Oviedo and Sporting Lisbon. Oviedo in particular, given you've allowed 2 left-backs to go out on loan anyway. So, is there anything
but also about decision what we need to make, of what we already made about players, about future of players, that everybody will see that what happened next week.
What have you made of Ross Barkley's start to the season?
Positive, really positive, because I think the most important in this situation is that the player is really he knows by himself it's a big season for him, and he's not anymore that talent. He needs to show, and that's another responsibility for the player than it was maybe the last 2 years. And he's working hard. He's trying to improve, and I think it's still a lot of space to improve to be finally a very good player.
You see a player who's handling that kind of pressure as well when he knows it's a big season. That brings with it
but
pressure on himself.
He knows about that pressure because it's a local boy, and that's always that gives everybody more pressure. And I think he can handle that. He can deal with that because he knows that pressure, and it's only to make the next step as a football player, and what he needs, what the team needs for the player, and that's that position behind the striker.
And is the experience that he's had at the Euros added motivation for him, do you think?
No, but I think it's sometimes okay. You get from outside maybe inspiration, but I think that mentality needs to come out of yourself, and not about that he was maybe disappointed what happened in the summer. No, it starts every day by do your job, being professional, and of course you need help, you need confidence of the coach and all that kind of stuff, but it starts always by the player, by himself.
And in terms of pre-season, I suppose Romelu Lukaku's a little bit behind Ross. Do you see a player who's just getting up to speed now?
Yeah, but it's also about the fitness of the player. We have still some players who got the first 90 minutes last Tuesday. And everybody needs time, everybody needs game time and really the physical strength to be and to play out of the top level what they can, because all of them are very good players.
Any developments as regards a possible new contract for Romelu? Any developments as regards a possible
No.
And overall, Ronald, how do you assess the start the team has made so far?
No, I think it's a good start of the season, because it was difficult the pre-season. We lost Stones in the pre-season, and what I mentioned that some players get the first time 90 minutes last week, and they already played 2 Premier League games. But in result, I think 4 points out of that is positive. But we know you have to be prepared for the next one. It gave us a lot of confidence, the victory against West Brom away, but we know Stoke is always a tough one at home, and we need to be prepared for that.
Is it a Stoke that's changed though slightly? Is it less physical? Is it a less physical side than it used to be?
It's changed the last 2 seasons. I think it's more ball position. It's not so direct maybe than it was. And that's all about of the qualities of the players like Arnautovic, like Bojan, like Shaqiri. Okay, if you have Bojan and Shaqiri, and you play high balls and long balls, then it's better to change that kind of players. And then that's the job for the manager to get out of the best of these players, and that's really to play different.
When you went 1 down last week, you changed things. You brought the 2 new boys off the bench, and along with Romelu, and then you go and win the game. How satisfying is that as a manager to change things and see that your fortunes change in a game?
No, first of all, you need to have players who can change also that system, and of course it's nice, but that's part of the manager. Sometimes you make changes and you don't get that final result, and sometimes it's good to change. And this one was good because it was different. 1-0 down. That means a different game plan than it was from the start, and we have players. That's the most important. If you don't have players to play out of different systems, then it's difficult.
And I think you said a couple of weeks ago, fitness-wise, you're about 70%. You thought by about now, I think you'd be about 100%. Is that? Am I right with my maths? And is that now a sign that a good chance to build a bit of momentum?
Yes, of course. We are improving, and it's always difficult if you have a midweek game to get really that intensity in the training sessions. But still, we are improving, and of course, that's normal that we are physically better than it was before the Tottenham game.
So 100% now? Is my maths
yeah,
right?
close to 100%. But I think some players, and that's all about that they did not get that really game time in the preseason. That it was the first 90 minutes, and maybe they need 1-2 weeks more to have the international duty to play. And really to get everybody on the highest level, what you need to play Premier League, it's normally after the transfer window.
Ronald, it's still very early days now, but how much further down the line are the players to responding to what you want from them, your new ideas and the new method of training? How quickly is that going as quick as you'd like?
Yes, I'm very happy about the work rate of the team, how they like to improve, what they like to do, and what they need to do, and we do a lot of different things than they used to do last season. But that's good. That's, in my opinion, a fresh air to everybody, and that's good because I believe in that way. I believe in that philosophy. And of course, you need time to really to get everybody involved in that structure. And but it's better, maybe the question for the player because they need to change. I don't change.
Romelu Lukaku, I know, missed a few chances midweek. You said after the game that didn't particularly bother you. How long do you envisage it will take before he builds up his sort of levels of match sharpness to pretty near his peak?
No, I'm not worried about him about scoring goals because these kind of strikers they will score. If it's not this Saturday, it will be in 2 weeks, and that's no reason to worry about it. Only that you see that he's still not 100% at his physical level, and that's also very important. But normally, if he get 2 chances, he will score 1 goal. And it's not the most important to score the 4th or the 5th against a League 2 team, but you need to score the first one because that's the most important.
And Stoke City, as you hinted at before, it is a different Stoke from the old-fashioned view that we had of them. Given their personnel, Arnautovic and Boyan and others, are they in some ways perhaps more dangerous playing away from home?
Maybe, but I think they are really strong. They have really a stable position in the table in the last few years, and they're working well, playing good football. And I don't think so that they are stronger away than at home. Maybe away from home you can play a little bit more defensively, and with that kind of players in front, you can play a little bit more out of counter-attacking football, but it's still a tough opponent to beat.
I was just wondering, going back to Joe Hart, with you saying there is no interest, was there any interest, or did that interest perhaps fade away?
No.
None whatsoever?
No.
Okay, folks.
Team news-wise,
Seamus?
James is not, of course, fit for the weekend. We have some small doubts for the weekend. James McCarthy, Gibson, Cleverley, but I expect them normally fit for the weekend, and then we only have really that player injured, Seamus Koeman.